Welcome back YouTubers to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. If you're new to my channel, I'm AspieAnswersAll, or as the abbreviated down to is Aspie, and I'm all about creating mental health awareness versus basically sharing my life stories with Asperger's syndrome, OCD and the like, so that you can get to know me underneath the mask of these diagnoses bit by bit as a person, because as we know that we need to remove some of the stereotyping and everything else that comes with, all these mental health disorders that I may address, and hopefully along the way also as we journey together with these tips and advice, just to bear in mind that some of it is based on my everyday experiences versus my life training that I did through Youth Line a few years back, and some of it may fit for you, that may work for you, or vice versa, work for me, may not for you. So it's a matter of give and take and respect each other. Also, what I do here is basically, hopefully in the near future, we'll be doing some more fun videos to interact with you guys, regardless what it may be it more tag videos, maybe some challenges along the way, maybe hopefully in the near future if I can find some people to call out for collabing with, people that may be able to interact with me in my community, or just outside where I live, and maybe just have to travel around to find the people. I'm not sure as of yet, but that's what my hoping to be seeing more of, hopefully maybe in the near future, as well as creating this mental health and awareness and everything else that has been in my aims and goals. And all further ado, guys, basically, also I do some series on my Beauty from Ashes channel, even though it's now classified as a library or playlisting of everyday topics that we may go through, be it relationship problems, be it boyfriend cheated on you, or vice versa, girlfriend cheating on you, beauty images issues versus everything else that comes in between of these everyday struggles that we go through, or everyday situations that comes about, so that I can just give you some pills of wisdom and encouragement, and hopefully that with that pills of wisdom and encouragement you can find some light in there and a bit of peace and comfort. So in all further ado, guys, at the moment I'm trying to finish the collabing, or shall we say my research based on the how-to bits and pieces, as well as the ADHD and Asperger's syndrome and series that I'm hoping to finish up before just to all some of the other everyday topics I want to share with you all that has been close to my thinking, as well as look no further, hopefully, as I said, about my book journey. So I better get that roll into play of what to say there. So bear with me on that front. It's been a long, hectic journey for me at the moment though, but I'll share more what I've been thinking, doing later on. But in all further ado, this one's all about basically of the how-to guide is making a behaviour intervention plan for an autistic child. Some of this behaviour intervention plan can be for other children with special needs too. So basically this can be addressed for just not for the autistic children, even though most of it was supposed to be addressed for autistic children, but you can use it for maybe your child who suffers from ADD, ADHD and the like, and try them out, even if they don't work. Like I said, try them step by step, as I'm going through it step by step, and of the techniques and management tools or strategies, shall we say, to the point that hopefully will be fit for you. But then again, remember also that I'm no expert here of the medical profession. I'm just an everyday Joe Blogs going through my life story, journey with AS, and just hearing you what I've encountered and my tips and advice along the way. So if you see any warning signs, however, as I put this disclaimer out, between you, yourself, or the person you're dealing with, do seek medical professional help and seek advice if need be. So this is going to be method 2 on the making a behaviour intervention plan for an autistic child. So let's begin this. As I said before though, as an overview, that autistic children or any children with special needs, it needs to be dealt in a correct, appropriate manner. And even though these hopefully will be just gentle reminders for you all when dealing with children with special needs, because every child is different when it comes down to special needs, obviously. And like I said in one of my random raves, it's not good just to shout at a child while they're having their meltdowns. It just makes the situation worse, sort of thing. So it's best to just know when to intervene and when not to intervene, and know when to actually seek maybe outside help if you're struggling with the situations that comes into play with some children that has their special needs. Okay, handling the problems. Okay, number 1 is de-escalate if you see stress building up. If a child's fight, flight or freeze mechanism has been activated, they might not be able to control themselves. They are probably losing control regardless what it may be. depending on the situation they're facing at that given moment of time. You know, like a sensory overload kind of thing of their fight, flight, fright, freeze response. As a classic example here, like I said before, being in a crowded room full of people until my, panic attack, anxiety attack, social anxiety and the rest of it tends to come into play. So therefore I need to withdraw myself. And as I said before also, in that sometimes many people may find it rude that I walk away without actually telling you guys where I'm going. If you guys can read body language and cues before that stage happens, then it'll be good. But then again, it's sometimes I shouldn't have to keep, replaying in my mind what to say to you, sort of thing. It's not, some ways it can be a fear of judgment call of how you may feel about me as a person when I have my meltdowns or whatever it may be at that time. But it's also just good to at least hopefully be able to meet the needs of mine and yours put together regardless. So like I said, when I do end up having my meltdown, or if my social anxiety of that social energy tank that I've mentioned so many times before goes normally empty, I do need time to build it up again. Because sometimes hanging with a lot of group of people, basically, depending how big it is, I do need to, retreat and actually rewind and just be able to maybe, debrief myself and then come back out. Sometimes it may take a day for me to do it. Sometimes it may take me a few hours to release those tensions and anxiety away, depending on how I feel at that given moment. If I feel enough is enough, like I'm learning now, when it comes down to socialising, bear with me and don't feel, hurt or anything. Just be understanding enough just to know, oh, okay, Kieran's doing this, maybe we'll leave it for another day to try again. It's all about just, taking little steps at a time, even though I'm trying to tell myself not to push myself too hard to actually socialise in real big groups to the point that it makes me uncomfortable and my anxiety attacks and all that comes about again. It's about being in control, even if I feel I'm out of control with this kind of, stages of my anxiety versus everything else that I put into play. Okay, as I said before though, with this fight, flight or freeze mechanism has been activated, they may not be able to control it themselves, okay? Even though they know it's not good to hit people or scream in public while they're having the sensory overload or those meltdown phases and stages I've shared briefly. Best way to stop this from prevent it is to prevent it from getting it that far. So maybe never get drawn into a power battle. Forcing your control upon a child will make them afraid of you. And they won't respect, it won't make them respect you more if you put that power hat on, that I'm the one in control of the situation, you're just the child, I do what you need to say is me, okay? I see that sometimes a lot for some adults. They chose to act all powerful with their child regardless of their behaviours that is inappropriate, either in public, in the home, and sometimes it's just disheartening to see that. And it's just like, hang on a minute, yeah, you may be an adult, but you got to remember, you need to put the child needs first, because they come first regardless of how you feel. If you want to be power hungry and actually, my house, my rules kind of category that I hear a lot of. Number 2, minimise talking. When the child is stressed, a child may be having trouble with their auditory processing, okay? They may not be able to understand what you're really saying. In these type circumstances, talk less and instead focus on de-escalating. Try to use non-verbal communication. Instead of asking, do you want your bunny, show them the bunny so they can grab it if they want it. Instead of saying, let's go outside, point to the door and have them take you hands so they can lead you out if they do want to go out. Another one is, as I said before in the very first part of the behaviour intervention plan, is even though some autistics are non-verbal, if you know a bit of sign language, do that, or even have some picture cards and stuff that has later, everyday pictures so that they know what you're trying to say. Less is more for us, for some of us that are autistics and are non-verbal. In other words, basically what I'm saying here, I find it sometimes like many of us are picturistic, and obviously we communicate by pictures, so picture says 1,000 more than words, so to speak. So therefore, basically, what I'm saying here is, as I said, this can be a good method for ones that are non-verbal. Okay, Again, as I said before, this is number 3, give them an AAC device. Okay, as I said before, this will be coming up more in the piece about this AAC device. If you don't know anything about it or just want to learn more so you can deal with an autistic child or someone that is non-verbal, because it may help for someone that is non-verbal, that is deaf, even if you do struggle with sign language, it can be a good tool for you as well as the person that is non-verbal. Okay, however, when a child is stressed, the child might lose the ability to speak regardless of where they're going, what is happening all around them, be it a syndrome or a meltdown and the like, while still being able to use the AAC, I should say. Handing them a device shows that you aren't going to push them to speak, and they will listen if they advocate their needs to you, regardless of what they're pointing out and whatnot. Watch for deteriorating speech abilities. If a non-very articulate girl points to a peanut shell and cries bug, then she might be having trouble processing things and may communicate better with AAC. Just look out for little, bits and pieces to see if they are suffering from, suspicious syndrome, autism and the like. But again, it's always good to know about the diagnoses. So like I said earlier in the piece about, how to diagnose yourself with suspicious syndrome and the like is in these videos. So if you want, I'll link this up to you later on. If they have several forms of AAC, let them choose. If they are not too overwhelmed, however, or more overwhelmed, a simpler form will do better. For example, maybe your student is too frazzled to type, but can show you the picture card for too loud. Okay, because obviously, it's all about communicating and meeting the needs of a child. Okay, 4, have an exit strategy ready, including schedule rewards if needed. Okay, for example, if a boy knows that when he gets into a car, he'll get a tasty snack or treat and he can play a game at home, he might be more willing to leave the park. Implement a strategy that is best for you when you see stress is building up in the child. You can always come back later once the child is more calmer. Okay, explain this exit strategy beforehand to your child. However, don't wait until the child is into that meltdown or mid-meltdown stage. Use visual supports and aids like a keyring with pictures if needed. Another one is tailor the rules to the child's favourite things. Make sure they are readily available. If you run out, the child may stop trusting the routine and may stop doing what you want them to do in the first place. For older children, however, you might be able to self-monitor, initiate the exit strategy when needed, and do it without the rules. Younger children might need to watch their moods and reward them more for following it through with their moods. Well, basically that ends part 2 of the making a behaviour intervention plan for an autistic child, basically of the handling the problems. Give me a like for thumbs up for support and engagement. Feel free to comment below if I missed out any tips there that may be of value and use to you all. Feel free to also follow me on Twitter and Facebook, AspieAnswersAll. Feel free to also just basically share these videos around to family and friends. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Until next time, do what you love what you do. I'll see you all again soon.